Hello, people of the internet. This is Mandk Xbox. Today I'm on my own. Ben can't be on during the week because of some crappy, I don't even know. Ben can't be on during the week, and this is going to be episode 2 of the World of Tanks reviews. And looky here, got myself an IS-3. Finally, been grinding away on this thing. It's not a bad tank, but you know, it's all right, I suppose. I might do a review on this later, but I've just got myself the IS-3, and I'm really happy with this. I couldn't really deal with the fact that this gun here, which I'll get into a bit later, doesn't do that much penetration, and when you get into tier 8 games you really need it. So I use a bit of free XP. It hasn't been like crazy, like 73,000 free XP to convert, but even now I have 37,996. So I converted myself some free XP, got myself the BL9, and I'll go into some of that later. Now, I think I'm going to be doing some general characteristics, and then I'll show some tactics that can be used with the IS-3 that are effectively, very effective. And I might even show you a really good game that I had, and about picking your targets. Because when you get into higher tier games, it's not just a case of, oh look, there's a guy over there, I'm going to fucking shoot him, blah! It's not like that, because that makes a crap team, and I seem to be getting in with a lot of crap teams. In some cases it is my own fault, and I'll admit that, and I make stupid errors, and then I blame it on the team, but in some cases, yeah, it is the team are just terrible. Sometimes it's not always your team that's terrible. I was in a game not so recently. We wiped everybody off the enemy team in under 2 minutes, or something like that, and we only lost one guy, so that's not too bad. So anyway, yeah, on with the review. So, first of all, just gonna go over the characteristics of this thing, and some sort of like, armor, and some general where to shoot this, where not to shoot this, weak spots of this thing. I'm not too good at covering up weak spots. That's something I really need to work on, but I'm getting the gist of it. So anyway, yeah. So first of all, 1,500 hit points. That's about average, I guess, for a tier 8. I mean, if we go in here and look in some of the other tier 8s, let's have a look. T44, let me have a look. T44, yeah, 1,200 hit points, but that's a medium tank, so it doesn't really count. If we were to look at the KV4, which is the other one, 1,600 points, so it's only 100 hit points more, and if we were to go and look at, I don't know, the Americans, they'll probably have a lot more hit points, but they're the Americans, they like big things. In fact, no, actually, no, my bad, that's tier 7. I look like a dick now. No, 1,400 hit points, so yeah, it's about average. It's not, amazing, it's not spectacular, but it's not, not terrible. It's about average. Now when you start off when you first get to here, if you haven't ground out the 122mm D-25T on the IS, you'll have to grind through that if you want to get to the BL9, and through this on the IS-3. And when you get into higher tier games, if you already own an IS-3, or if you are wishing to get one, you're a bit further down the line, I don't know, maybe around here-ish or somewhere, or, maybe even, where are we? Maybe near the KV-13, I don't know. I think even when you get into with the KV-1S, the ammo and the upkeep of these tanks are just, they just like really take a lot. I mean, this wasn't a particularly good game that I had literally about, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. But I've got a premium account, so it kind of helps. But I got 23,000 XP, and without a premium account, that would have been minus 3,399, and you'll be seeing this quite a lot if you don't have a premium account. Even when I do have a premium account, I do tend to get into some minuses sometimes, so you'll average, I don't know, not more than 10,000 credits a game, unless you have a really good team. Because, repair cost here, 11,771, and ammunition, 7 shots, 7,000 credits gone, so they do become very expensive to upkeep these higher tier heavy tanks, as I've noticed, so definitely grind through it on the IS. It's not that bad of a grind, and it's definitely worth it. I mean, it fires a bit faster, 4.88 opposed to 4.08. What's a 0.8 of a second faster? But that cannot make all the difference, to be honest, I suppose. So definitely grind through this so you can get to this gun on the IS-3. And then this is the gun that everybody wants on the IS-3. I'm pretty sure about this. It's the 122mm BL9. Now the difference between this gun and the other gun is not really rate of fire. I mean, it's got a bit worse rate of fire, to be honest, but yeah, it's got a bit worse rate of fire, or a little bit better. No, yeah, worse rate of fire. But it's a higher tier gun, what can you expect? They get slower as you get higher up the line. But, you know, look at this. It's friggin' 175, 217, 61 to 225, 265, 68. There's not a lot of tanks that have that much armor in World of Tanks. You'll be able to rip straight through them. Of course, this part here I believe is frontal armor. That's how much it, you know, 68mm of frontal armor penetration. But if you have any sort of sense when you're driving high tier tanks and you meet someone with much more armor than you or a higher tier than you, you're going to shoot for the weak spots. You're not going to go, oh, I'll fucking shoot you right in the friggin' gun mantle where you've got 7 million fucking millimeters. In fact, that's a very absurd generalization. Not even a generalization, anyway. So same hit points, same amount of damage that you can do. Slightly better accuracy. 0.06 meters difference. 0.046 for the D-25T and 0.04 for the, or 0.4 for the 122 BL9. Aiming time, exactly the same, and this weighs more, but what can you expect? So that's the gun on it, and you know it looks really nice as well. It's not, oh, wrong tank. It looks quite nice as well. I mean, you've got this nice little gas port there, so you know the gases aren't going to follow it straight out this way. They're going to get to this point here and just go, oh, shorter exit, bang, 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 and they're going to shoot out the end there, and of course the round's going to go out there. I mean, so yeah, that was the gun. Anyway, I sort of jumped the gun there a little bit. See what I did there? No, that was crap. Yeah, so weight/load limit, 49.13 tons. That's what I have on it at the moment. I forgot to do this. That was stupid. Gathering information. So yeah, so that's with all the equipment I have at the moment. I'm not too sure. I didn't pay much attention to what it was when I didn't have all the equipment. I mean, I've got the best turret, the best gun, the best track, not the best engine. Nope, best engine, but not the best radio. I mean, radios are all right, but they're not crucial unless you're an SPG or a light tank, in which case you'd be retarded not to go for a higher tier radio. Anyway. So, engine power, 700 horsepower, 700 horsepowers, 700 horsepower, that's pushing, you know, it's alright, and it's pushing about, what, I'm trying to find how much it weighs, oh, yeah, it's pushing 49.13 tons of, or 0.13 tons of steel, so yeah, it goes quite fast, and the speed limit here, it's not one of those speed limits to sort of say, well, if you're going down a hill and you're getting pushed by someone, and you've got fucking nitrous in the engine, you're gonna reach this speed limit. You will reach this on, you know, flat ground, sort of like this kind of terrain here, or relatively the same terrain as this one here. Definitely gets slowed down a lot in, or on, rough terrain, on rocks, in some boggy ground. It will get slowed down. Just reverse speed isn't too bad, you know, it's sort of average. Again, it's a relatively average tank. I think the only thing it really excels in is, of course, the gun, because, you know, when people come around the corner and they see one of these things, they think, oh shit, this thing is going to do a lot of damage, not, oh shit, it's going to take a long time to kill. It do take quite a long time to kill, you know, and I'll go over why a little bit later, but the hull armour isn't spectacular. I mean, 110mm at the front, alright, but bear in mind it has this pike nose right here, so it's going to increase the effective thickness by quite a bit. So, when you're shooting at an IS, if it's pointed, if it's like this, then shoot this part here. Don't shoot this part, because you're going to get, you know, you're going to get a ricochet or a non-penetration. So that's pretty retarded, don't shoot that. But if it's like this, you can shoot at this part, these two parts here, but unless you have a gun like the BL9, don't expect to be getting any miracles, and it's very hard getting used to this. Going from, you know, something that looks like this. I mean, even here, it's got. They're sort of getting, the Russians are sort of getting the gist of it about here, around here, but still, getting used to this is very hard because I'll often come around corners or angle myself, and you just don't angle this thing unless you're side scraping, and I'll go over side scraping what that is a little bit later. So unless you're side scraping, you don't really need to angle this thing very much because, well, this is already angled for you. So if you angle it, so let's say, you know, there's a guy, I don't know, over here, pretend the garage door is the enemy. You come at them like this, they have a very low chance of penetrating you from the front, unless they're smart and they shoot for your lower glacis, which is fairly sloped as it is. So yeah, but if all of a sudden you come around the corner, if there's a wall here, and you come around the corner like this part, you've just de-angled the angle. So you know, you're rendering this part useless. It's going to go straight through, and there's only 110mm of armor stopping that round. And like I said, most guns, especially the IS-3, at tier 8 will penetrate that. So getting used to, but you can do it. And upgraded turret. This is definitely what makes the IS-3, you know, very good and effective on the battlefield. If you got the turret of this thing pointing out, and you're not really gonna get shot or penetrated. I mean, it's 220mm of fucking armor all the way around, because it's not a turret like this, you know, where, you know, you've got defined sides where you've got, yeah, this is the left, this is the right, or this is the left, this is the right, that's the front, that's the back. On this you sort of say, well, that's the left, that's the right, but if I go like this, that's the left, that's the right. It's a circle. It's very bouncy. You're either going to get a ricochet or a non-penetration, especially if somebody has this turret, and you can tell it's this turret because the other turret, if I switch to it very quickly, doesn't have the little bag on the back. That's how you need to be able to distinguish. I'm pretty sure there's some other features that I've missed, but you know, it's a little bit bigger as well, this one. So the other one is smaller and it doesn't have this little bag on the back. So don't try and shoot an IS-3 unless you're shooting at its 2 weak spots, which even then are really hard to hit unless you're, you know, right up close to them, like this range. This is a weak spot, that's a weak spot, that's a weak spot, and nobody in fucking hell is gonna be able to hit them from, you know, further than, I don't know, maybe here-ish. If they are, it'll be very lucky and probably won't be intentional, because they're shooting at you at this thing, at afar, they're gonna hit you somewhere completely different. You know, they're just sort of aiming at you, not, oh, I'm gonna be clever here, I'm gonna aim for his tracks and blow his tracks off. They could do that, but it might not be too intentional. Anyway, so that's the turret. So that just bear in mind, if you're in this thing and you see an opportunity to cover up this part here, this lower part, and just have the turret sticking out, and even better yet, just a small part of the turret sticking out, take that opportunity, especially if it'll help defend the team, because not a lot is going to get through this. I mean, I've been penetrated once or twice, but I think I had the, you know, worse turret. I've been penetrated once or twice by some very lucky shots that have just gone in this little seam here. And I haven't been hit here yet, so that's quite lucky, I suppose. But yeah, so I've been hitting this seam before, just here, and it's gone straight through. Also, this part here, it's curved, if you look at it like that, but it's flat on in comparison to the rest of the tank, but it still does have that 220mm. This thing, I'm not too sure what the fuck that is, so I really have no idea. Anyway, so standard shell damage, 293, 488 damage, already been over that, part of the gun. So, penetration, again, part of the gun, rounds per minute, part of the gun. Turret reverse speed, 26 degrees per second, not terrible, not too good. Again, it's an average tank. It's an all-round tank, but I'll tell you this, it's definitely a brawler tank. If you don't know what a brawler tank is, there's a few different types of tanks. There's, you know, the sort of sniper tanks, which are generally the ones with very accurate guns, like this Dicker Max here. This one, it might not look... It's a tier 8 gun and a tier 6 tank, I mean, fucking hell. You know, if I look at this... accuracy, 0.36, that's very good accuracy. And you'll hit, I don't know, 90% of the things you shoot at in this thing. So, so yeah, it's not a sniper. This thing isn't a sniper. It's not necessarily the tank for heading up an attack. It could be if you're one of the few tier 8s in a game like this. 3 tier 8s on your team, 3 tier 8s on the other team, and the rest are tier 7 and tier 6s. This is the tank to lead the attack. But if there's a heavier tank, a tank with much more frontal armor, I don't know. For instance, let's take the I don't know. Go here, Tiger 2. I want to say. No. Well, okay. Well, it could be the tank to lead the attack, but it's fairly slow. and won't get to the front line as quick. It's a bit of a support tank. What it is, though, is a brawler, and a brawler is someone that gets really up close in your face, hits weak spots, or just blows the shit out of you. You don't want to get into close quarters combat with an IS-3 because you will probably die, unless you're an IS-3. Then you probably, and you both, if you're in an ideal situation, you're two IS-3s, you have the exact same amount of health, you're in an open field, they have equal chance of winning, and they both have the same upgrades, best everything, I don't even care. But if they're equal in every single way, they will have an equal chance of killing each other at close range. These two, an IS-3, they're not good for sniping. You can snipe with them, or you can hit things at long range, but it seems to be me more depending on luck, and luck following through, that actually gets people hitting people. Then you got hit and run raider, which are people who will, I don't know, let's say this is a gap. Just pretend the IS-3 is a gap from now, and this is a wall here, and this is a wall here. They will come down here. They'll generally be light tanks or fast mediums. They'll fly down here, stop in the gap, shoot at someone, and get the fuck out of there before, you know, an IS-3, for instance, turns its turret around and starts shooting at you because you don't want that. So yeah. So this thing is definitely a brawler. If you have the opportunity to get up close and personal with someone, take it. Definitely take it. View range, decent view range, 350 meters, could be better. So yeah, signal range, nobody really gives a crap about signal range, to be honest, on an IS-3. Like I said, signal range and radios are mainly for RTs and light tanks. I nearly forgot what it was there. So yeah, right, so I'm just gonna go into some general features about the tank itself. So I've already talked about the pike nose of this thing, which is very good for, you know, stopping most shells. And, you know, I've talked about the turret a bit and some of the weak spots on the turret. Like I said, all same armor all the way around. So what I seem to find helps, if I'm getting up close and personal with an IS-3, try and shoot into the seams, because first of all, you'll damage the turret ring. You'll definitely damage the turret ring. Second of all, you will do damage. You're getting so close to them, and you're putting you're literally, I don't know how to put it, you're just putting a gun straight into someone's face and pulling the trigger. That's what you're doing. So try and aim for the seams, especially if you're at the front, because it's a lot easier to get into the seams. If not, then aim for the commander's cupola, this thing or that thing. Or aim for this little sort of outcrop ridge. If you look at it like this, you've sort of got this little mound here. This is a big weak spot. Of course, fuel tanks, never paid much attention to it, but yeah. So try not to angle this thing, is what I was saying before, because you won't, unless you're side scraping, and I have a very good example of that before, and I'll be showing you that later. I'll be using the replay system for the first time, but yeah, so basically how it went was, I got into a tier 10 game, first tier 10 game, I think, and at that point I was thinking, shit, tier 10, oh fuck. So, it was on, I can't even remember, I think it might be in Fisherman's Bay, I think it was Fisherman's Bay or Fisher's Bay or whatever the hell it is, and I flanked down the left side of the minimap, where not where the town is, but on the opposite side, for those of you that don't know, and I started not where the small town is. There's like a small little village on top of a hill. I didn't start on that side, and you'll see later anyway. So I parked myself behind a rock. I got shot, but luckily it didn't do any damage. Just ricocheted, so it might have been a lower tier, might have been the same tier, don't know. Parked behind a rock, and then I side scraped. And this tank is very, very good for side scraping. And I'll tell you why. Never shoot an IS here, or here, because that is all spaced armor. And the same goes for the other side as well. That is all spaced armor. You do not want to shoot an IS-3 here. It'll go through, it'll say, you know, we've hit them, or that one penetrated, or I don't even care. It'll say that, and it'll tell you, yep, you penetrated them, you're all good. But you'll penetrate this layer of armor, and not the layer of armor that's underneath. You'll penetrate them, but you won't do any damage, because it's spaced armor, don't shoot here. So, you'll see that I've got, you know, a big shot here, and a shot there. It's gone through, but I've still got 1,500 hit points, because it's spaced armor. So don't shoot an IS-3 here. If you've ever shot an IS-3 here and you're thinking, oh, what the hell, it said it went through, but it's not done any damage. Odds are, it's because it's spaced out. You've hit the spaced armor. If not, you've probably hit the tracks. And if you're side scraping and they hit the tracks, I really don't care. You know, they're tracks. Tracks are tracks. If you're side scraping and they're already ricocheting off you, and your track gets blown off, odds are they're still going to ricochet off you. So there's no need to sort of use a repair kit. I'll only use a repair kit if it's absolutely necessary, like if I'm engaged in a battle and all of a sudden my track gets blown off and I'm right in the middle of the open and artillery starts, and I look at the side and, oh crap, tier 6 artillery, repair kit, get the fuck out of there. So yeah. Now, I'm going to go over some general tier 8 or tier 6 and up tactics, because this is something that really annoys me. Very it irritates me quite a lot. The odd occasion that I've gotten into a tier 8 game with my, you know, KV-1S, basically what seems to happen is people go for the easy kills. And you'll see a good example of me putting the fact that I'm not going for the easy kills into practice. You might think it's an easy kill because they're on low health, but I'm thinking, right, well, this guy can do 400 damage to me in one shot. This guy has a 75% chance of ricocheting or not penetrating and will only do 71 damage or 100 and something damage per shot. That guy's on low health, this guy isn't. I'll go and take out the guy who's going to do more damage to me first, because I don't want him to do more damage to me, then I'll deal with the lower tier tanks. That's the mindset you want to have. You always want to think about what you're doing. World of Tanks isn't, you know, a fucking Call of Duty game where you run around and shoot people every 30 seconds and throw knives across maps and fucking hit people, and that, I mean, it's alright. I play Call of Duty, but I play 4 and 5. I don't like any of the newer ones. I think they've sort of ruined it. I quite like Black Ops, the first one, with bots. I really like that. And I might even get it, but I don't know. But yeah, World of Tanks, if you haven't already worked out, is a game about positioning, situational awareness, and basically knowing what you're doing. What irritates me more than anything is when I see, you know, I mean, fair enough if I'm a tier 5 game and you see people sort of racing around, fair enough, it's tier 5. You know, tier 5 is the tier that you start getting, you know, moderately serious. It's kind of like the bridge in between. You are in the middle of all the tiers, after all. When you get to tier 6 and up, that's when things get... Right, I can't fucking speak. Brilliant. That's when things starts getting really serious, and you really need to think about how you're playing things. You can't just run into the middle of the battlefield, pop up a few shots, and if you get killed, it doesn't matter, because you will run up a massive bill with higher tier tanks. Like I said, this gun here, 1025 credits per shot, no armor on the hull, you know, 75, 60, 60, you've got effectively no armor on the hull, and your gun doesn't even fire that fast. So you're going to get killed. So you've got to think about what you're doing at all times. You can't just sort of... I've made the mistake every so often where I've waltzed into a game and thought, yeah, you know, I'll just wing it. In some cases you can just wing it because the other team are just so god-awful they can't take advantage of your mistakes, because that's how higher tier games work. You take advantages of people's mistakes. I'm still learning. I mean, I fucking got tier 6 at, you know, January. I've only had a tier 6 since January, and I've already gotten myself to the IS-3. I've been playing non-stop. I even got to the IS legitimately when I had the opportunity to get use free XP to get to it. That was just me. Don't know why. So I think I was at something like, I mean, how much is it for the IS? It's something like 43,000. I was at something like 56 or 57,000, and I thought, yeah, you know what, I might as well just go get the legit. So I did. But you've really got to think to yourself what you're doing at all times, and you want to pick your targets. If you've ever played War Thunder, if that's a game you've played before, picking your targets on War Thunder is exactly the same as picking your target. Oh shit, it's fucking hot in here. Picking your targets in War Thunder is exactly like picking your targets in World of Tanks, and vice versa. If you pick the wrong target, you're gonna get killed. If I start shooting at the low tier tank just because, oh, he doesn't have as much armor, not as much hit points, I'm gonna go for him because I can kill him and get killed, then you're gonna get yourself killed. It's happened to me before. I've been, you know, driving along, then all of a sudden IS-3, I've been in my KV-1S, IS-3 shoots me when there's, you know, 3 tier 8 heavies just in front of me, but he was aiming for me because I was a lower tier and I was an easier kill. Disregards the fact that there's 3 tier 8 heavy tanks with death guns. He just thought, easy kill, I'll shoot at him, and I get killed. But then of course he gets killed afterwards as well because he didn't pay attention to the immediate threat. So I think that just sort of wraps it up for the IS-3. Well, for the sort of theory part, if you wish. I'm gonna quickly cut the video here. I'm gonna go and watch some of the replays whilst I'll sort of commentate to you on it, or about that, and I'll run through with some of the tactics. So I shall be right back. So guys, I'm back with the replay. This was a tier 8 game. Sorry, I was thinking of the wrong one. This is a tier 8 game, and this is the good example that I was talking to you about before of, you know, picking your targets. I'm just gonna fast forward here really quick. That's what I thought. No, that was just skipping ahead. My bad. Just fast forward, get myself to the right position. So it's about here. Right. So this is what I'm talking about. So first of all, this is a tier 8 game on Airfield. Just me on my own, IS-3, top of the game. Yeah, good matchmaking, I suppose. First of all, see this tier 7. Think, yeah, I'll have him. Put a shot into him, 434 damage. That was alright. You know, didn't really need to, but he made the mistake of putting himself out there. Get behind this rock just to make sure, and at this point I thought, oh crap, artillery's going to start shooting at me, and I didn't realise. Derp moment, no artillery. So, you know, it ends up just me holding this corner. Now, this is what I mean. Put a shot into that Type 59. Now he knows that he doesn't want to get shot by me again, and I'm only trying to poke out the top of my turret here, and boom, bounces off my turret. If I pause, oh no, not even bounce off my turret. Like I said, bounce off the pike nose. It's only 110mm thick. I'm pretty sure that Type 59 can do more damage, but it's sloped, so it's just going to bounce straight off, or just not penetrate. So let's continue. And this is just me watching. If you see me looking behind, it's because I've been playing War Thunder a lot, and I tend to look behind me just to make sure that I'm not dead. And I'm just sort of checking around, making sure. Type 59 right there. I end up killing him, but ignoring a tier 7. And the reason why I ignore the tier 7 is because that guy can kill me first. Pure and simple. The Type 59 can kill me first, but this Panther here, he can't. He will, you know, he might do. I could kill him first, and I try and put a shot off into him, but miss, of course, as you might expect. And, you know, I'm trying to expose the smallest amount of myself possible, and I'm not sure if he shot someone else. He shot the IS. I'm trying to, you know, keep the minimal amount of myself exposed, because I don't want to expose myself that much. So yeah, so both the teams, to be perfectly honest, were very good. This was one of the few games where, you know, everyone was evenly matched, and there's me just checking, and that Type 59, he's holding his ground, and he plays a good game, I think. I do end up killing him, like I said, but he played well. He knew that if he went further forwards than he had to, he was going to take more shots. And I think what he was really doing is, I think he was just trying to keep me spotted, which is a very sensible idea, to be perfectly honest. So, you know, the rest of the team can see, oh shit, there's a fucking IS-3, you know, he's over here, guys, just letting you know. This IS goes around, and this is when I decide, right, time to advance. The IS takes a shot at the Panther, which, you know, is understandable, they're both tier 7. And this is the point, I think, should I kill the Panther? Nope, never mind. If he doesn't know what he's doing, he'll probably end up shooting my spaced armour. So, and like I said, shot my spaced armour. If I pause right here, go into free cam, go out of this, I think he shot me. Oh, no, he missed. He just didn't penetrate. I thought he hit my spaced armour, but he didn't, so I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Everything's vibrating. Anyway, I shall continue. So, killed the Type 59, and like I said, again, he didn't do any damage, but this guy did. T-43 snuck up behind me, but like I said, only 163 damage he did. That Type 59 would have done more if I just left him. And I go after this T-43. Stupidly at this point, I don't know why, but I just didn't see the T-34. That was sort of, you know, carrying around. Kill that guy. And then I decided, nah, I'll just start taking some shots at this T-34. Then I think a tiger tries to come for me. I thought I was going to try and blow his tracks off at first, but I've sort of reconsidered. Trying to see if I could hit his thing there, and now he's only on 147. This tiger, on the other hand, on 1,113. Did 308 damage to me, but the reason why I rammed into him was so I could keep my front pointed towards him. So, killed the T-34. Again, completely disregarded the tiger here because, you know, just didn't need to pay any attention to him. He as you can see there, he just bounced off me again. And that's me trying to find a decent spot to shoot, but didn't really matter. Got killed anyway. But yeah, it's always going back to this point of picking your targets. You know, fair enough, that T-34, you might be thinking to yourself, but you just said don't go for the one with lowest health. Yeah, but that's lowest health, lowest tier, and, you know, lowest damage or fucking, I don't know, potential to cause damage or potential to do harm. Go for the guy who's going to kill you, or is going to kill you. And I might have just seen there. Yep, he hit the spaced armor. Dead on, penetrated me, as you can see. There's a hole, big gaping hole, but no damage. At least I don't think. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that part, but just look at the turret here. Just look at it. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. It's all you're ever going to get from this tank if you play it correctly, which I'm just starting to get used to, and I don't know what I did there. I keep pausing! Jesus Christ! So yeah, you're only going to get bouncy, bouncy, bouncy from this tank if you play it correctly, which, like I said, just starting to get used to. So they've only got 2 tanks left. Tiger, 8.8 centimeter. He has 2 kills. I think he gets another one. Could be. Yep. There. Oh no, it was the ACMLE. My bad. So I end up killing the ACMLE, getting him for 432 damage. This was a very good game for me. First good game I've had in a while, out of all of World of Tanks. So here we are, about to get my last kill, and I start capping. And then I think, should I go for the Tiger? I don't know. I mean, he's doing damage to our guys. He's got 2-3 guys on them. But then by the time I decide to start moving, I realise, well, we're at 100% capture. No point now. And the Tiger does actually survive the game, so he did do very well. And at this point, I'm just getting a little bit cocky, and I put good game. But it's fairly inevitable that we're going to win, unless that Tiger pulls off a fucking miracle, which he didn't. So yeah, so well played to you, Tiger. Carl X Civ? Don't know. But yeah, well played to you. You played a good game. And yet, there you go. I was starting to go out the capture circle, and I was like, oh, enemy base captured. So that was the first replay. Replay completes. I'm going to load up the second replay and go over that with you. So I shall be right back. So then, tier 10 game on Fisherman's Bay. Like I said, I tried to describe it as best as I can, but this is the little sub-town I was talking about, and this is the main bulk town. So, like I said, tier 10 game, tier 9 with some tier 9 tanks, but mainly tier 8s and 2 tier 6 RTs. Let's go. So, you would expect me to take at least some damage during this game, and you're right, but I take damage from my track, and you'll see why. Again, I'm just going to jump ahead here. Let's sort of get out of free cam. Just sort of looking around. Don't know why I was looking at that guy. I just was. So imagine if the fucking IS went this quick. And there's this little friggin', I don't know, transfer of. I don't even know what this was. This is just weird. I'm Japanese. I'm gay. I am Jude. I don't even know. I am a terrorist. At that point, I was thinking I'm considering saying that. I am Vietnam, and then I put something like I have AIDS ? I don't know why. I just did. I'm a Jewish Japanese gay. Banzai. So yeah, and take my first shot, but I don't know where it hit. So just gonna get here. I'm just gonna look around. Cause I can't remember where exactly it was that I got hit. I was hit somewhere. Well, of course. So this is what I mean by side scraping. This is a very good example of it here, and I don't take a single ounce of damage apart from my left track, just here. And you'll see why, because all the shots go here, they just bounce off. Because you're at such a high angle, there's no way in hell that they're ever gonna do anything to you. It's just not gonna work. And at this point, I was just sort of waiting, for my moment to pop out. That IS-4 just rushed forward. Fair enough on him. And here we are. This is where I begin side scraping. And I didn't realise what I said, but you know. And there we are. The Carnarvon tries to take a shot at me eventually. My shot misses. So after every shot, just make sure that you drive forwards again, because then they can't shoot at your front. Pure and simple. I mean, your front might be the most armoured part, but there you go. And there you go. There's the first shot. Don't worry, that wasn't me. The video isn't out of sync. That was just me with a late reaction. So yeah, so I keep taking shots into my side. Track's been blown off, but you know what? I don't care. I've bounced 3 shots already. It's not going to do anything, and I keep bouncing them. They just keep hitting. I can do damage to them. They can't do anything to me. Just look. That's what 4, 5 in a row, 6. If I look here, I could probably show you. Let's have a look. Yep, there you go. Hit my. You know, that's 2 shots that have hit my side armor, or where the spaced armor is. One of them bounced there. Don't know how he managed to bounce there, because that's such a weird place to bounce. And don't know what the fuck this is. Part of one of my mods, I think. But yeah, so if you play this tank correctly, which I have on both these occasions, I don't do this all the time, so you know, this is the few occasions that I thought to myself, pull your finger out. So yeah, so let's continue watching. Another shot. And they all just hit my track. They will hit my track, but will not do any damage to me if you do it correctly. On some occasions, it's hard to judge, and you will take, you know, you'll angle yourself, but the angle will be not. And I say, I'm a master troll. I am master troll because they can't do anything to me. And I do actually get a kill. I actually kill the E-75 there, put a shot into his commander's hatch, but I fuck up the first shot, so it just completely misses. So this is the point where I said, yeah, you know what, I've bounced enough shots, I've trolled enough people, and there it is. Three shots, all hit the spaced armor, because I angled it correctly, and because I played it correctly. So, I move up with the rest of the tanks, just, you know, as you do. Fast forward this bit, crossing is a bit boring. And here we are. So, I'm thinking to myself, hang on a sec, which way is this E-75 facing? That stupid T-Rick and KV-4, totally useful. I don't know what that's about. I'm trying to think to myself, oh, point it the other way, and watch this, just about miss. You know, it was such an absurd shot to miss. I don't know how it did, but it did. And I think I end up putting either a shot into the side, and, oh, he's turning his turret back around, and someone puts another shot into him. I only do 94 damage to this guy, or 6 damage even. But I do kill him. It didn't have to. Somebody else could have done it, but yeah, you know, a kill is a kill. It might not do very good, but let's face it, everybody likes getting kills. But don't take that as a sort of message from me saying disregard what I said, you know, 5 minutes ago, give or take. It's important to pick your targets. Let yourself get caught out. Don't let yourself get caught out. Because if you let yourself get caught out, you're gonna start taking shots and you're gonna start taking damage. That's very important to not do. That's the opposite of what you want to do. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna fast forward the rest of this video. We do win. Too fast. We do win this game. You know, just sort of we capped it. We didn't kill everyone. That T11 OE5. He played a good game, I suppose. I mean, everyone else on their team were pretty crap. I mean, if you look, the only well, fair enough. Okay, never mind. But if you look at their team, you know, the only people who got any kills were these guys, and they didn't even get the most kills on their team. The most kills on their team came from an IS-7, which has been killed. Everyone else, these are the people that don't play correctly. I mean, I've played games where I don't get any kills, so I can't say that, you know, these guys have all been crap, but I haven't got any kills in that game, but I've got the most experience because I've spread my damage out. And I could probably tell you what that means, and I could probably explain to you, you know, how you could do it, but it's fairly simple, to be honest. Just, if there's 2 guys in front of you, And, you know, if there's two guys in front of you, and you know you're going to die, but you're still on full health, you know for a fact you're going to die, you're surrounded, but, you know, the rest of your team is still behind you, your track's been blown off, your friggin' turret's jammed, or your ammo rack's been hit, or whatever, I don't care. If you spread your damage out, then it's going to make it easier on the team if you do die. So, you know, if you can do 900 damage, or, I don't know, 500 damage to each player on their team, that's 500 less damage your team has to deal with later on. It's a big teamwork game, World of Tanks. You have to work as a team. I cannot stress that enough. If you're new to the game and you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, what's the IS-3? And you think, oh, big tier 8 heavy tank. I'll watch it anyway. Then don't be put off. You could probably own most people in your low tier games and tier 1 games if you use what I've said. Just bear in mind that tier 1 games are very fast paced because A, nobody knows what they're doing, B, all the tanks are fast apart from the odd exception like the M2 medium and the Leica tractor, or the Lola tractor. Everyone has low health, no armor, crappy guns. So, your games will be over fairly quickly, but I have played a game where I bounced every single shot in a Leica tractor and I got something crazy like 5 kills. I have played that kind of game like that before, but it all, you know, gets back to the principle of, you know, teamwork, or knowing how to play the game. If you don't know how to play the game, then you're kind of stuck. It's not a case of, alright, WASD, pretty simple, let's drive, let's go kill some people, because it's not going to work like that. You have to spend time to train yourself, you have to spend time to learn the ins and outs, you have to spend time to get to know the game, just know how to play it. You can't really go... A Call of Duty player, they will probably never master this game unless they really work at it. It's very hard for them to do so because they're used to fast-paced games. So, that's pretty much all I can really say about the IS-3. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Rate, comment, subscribe, everything, the whole lot, the whole Monty. This is... I hope to get this video up before my other one. I've done another tank review on the AMX105 AM tier 4 SPG. I haven't put it up yet. To be honest, I've still got the file sitting in my friggin' folder, in a video folder tucked somewhere in the depths of my hard drive. But yeah, hopefully with any luck you'll see this one after the AMX105 video. If not, I'll put a link somewhere, or an annotation or connotation or whatever, somewhere here or I might even put it here. I don't know. But I'll put it somewhere. So go watch that video again if it's up before this one. But other than that, rate, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed watching. This has been Mandk Xbox with an IS-3 Tier 8 Heavy Tank review.